field goals. 32 yards to tie it. And the kick, look out! Look out! It's no good! It's no good!
Low snap. The kick is good. And the Giants are going back to the Super Bowl.
Those were the two field goals that sent the New England Patriots and the New York Giants on their way to Indianapolis for the Super Bowl. Billy Cundiff missing for the Baltimore Ravens, but Lawrence Tynes hitting in overtime for the Giants. Two huge games we got, tons of post-game reaction. What a weekend in the NFL. This is the Double H Show. Let's start off with the first game, the Ravens and the New England Patriots. It went as expected. It was a tough game. Mini fights breaking out throughout. Tom Brady versus Joe Flacco. And, Tom Brady didn't play his best game, nor did the Patriots, but they get the W thanks to some key plays. Let's start off with Joe Flacco, who was 22 of 36 for 306 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. I thought for the most part, he played pretty well, kept his composure. His confidence looked pretty good despite the Ed Reed comments earlier in the week. They ran the ball pretty well with Ray Rice and Ricky Williams. But when it was all said and done, the Patriots were the ones who made the bigger plays. And, of course, the missed field goal by Cundiff at the end. Just a heartbreaker for Ravens fans. On the other side, Tom Brady was also 22 of 36 for 239 yards, no touchdowns, and 2 interceptions. Now, I thought Joe Flacco outplayed Brady, but, the New England Patriots and Tom Brady, when it got down to 4th and inches at the goal line, and Tom Brady just dove over, got the touchdown, even though it looked like he bent his body in half. That's what just Tom Brady does. He's a winner, and, he gets that touchdown, puts him up for good. And the defense came up big. I thought the biggest play of the game was not the missed field goal. I thought it was Joe Flacco's pass to Lee Evans in the end zone where he caught the ball, took one step, and Sterling Moore knocked it out of his hands. I thought that was huge. For a second, it looked to be like it was the game-winning touchdown, and Moore just reached in. He had great awareness to know where the ball was and just knocked it out, saving the New England Patriots season. And, of course, 2 plays later, Billy Cundiff wide right and just sent Foxborough into pandemonium and sent Belichick and Brady on their way to the Super Bowl. A couple stats about that missed field goal. Billy Cundiff was, in his career, was 68 of 71 field goals inside of 32 yards. He was 68 of 71. And all kickers in the NFL during the regular season this year, 368 out of 384, 30 yards and under. That's almost 96%. So, it was a shocker, I think, to everybody. And that's why it was so great in Foxborough, because I think everybody expected him to make it and just go into overtime and see what they could do. But the second it left his foot, it started heading left. So it was just absolutely unbelievable. What a finish there. So I thought the Patriots, the play with Lee Evans and Sterling Moore in the end zone, I thought that was huge. And, of course, the missed field goal. Got a feel for Billy Cundiff. Professional kickers, even college kickers, they're supposed to make the 32-yarders, and they just didn't get the job done. Now, the question has been asked if the Ravens lost this game due to those mistakes or if the Patriots actually won it. And, I think the Patriots won it. Tom Brady punched it in the end zone when he had to take the lead, and the defense for the Patriots came up big with Sterling Moore. So, even though the Ravens made a couple of mistakes, I still think the Patriots actually won this game. And the Patriots did not even play their best football. They were far from perfect. So the fact that, they were still in the game and put themselves in a position to win just shows how good of a team they really are. And it's going to be a great test for the Giants in the Super Bowl. Speaking of the New York Giants, they get it done again on the road in San Francisco in an NFC Championship game and in overtime. Lawrence Tynes sends them on their way to Indy with a 31-yard field goal to win it after just a crazy game in the rain that almost lasted 4 hours. Eli Manning was 32 of 58. He threw it 58 times, and that just shows the Giants and the coaching staff's confidence in Eli and how he's been playing great this whole season, and especially in the past couple of weeks, to let him throw the ball that many times, especially in the pouring rain where the ball can slip and so many different things are a factor. But for the most part, I thought Eli played great with those 316 yards and 2 scores. Alex Smith was only 12 of 26 for 196 yards and 2 scores. I thought he played all right. The Giants' defense did get to him and rattled him. They had 3 sacks on the day. But for this 49er team, heads up high, that was only Jim Harbaugh's first year on the job, and to make it to the NFC Championship game at home and to lose in overtime, this team's going to be around for a while longer. Also, there were 2 big plays in the game, and it's unfortunate it had to happen to the same person, Kyle Williams, punt returner. That fumble late with about 11 minutes to go in the fourth quarter that the Giants got in San Francisco territory against the 49ers. But luckily for the Giants, and the Giants did well, Eli to Mario Manningham in the end zone to take the lead. 49ers came back, kicked a field goal to send it into overtime. And then again in overtime, he catches the punt, takes a couple of steps, and the Giants special teams knocks the ball out, recovers, and a couple plays later, Lawrence Tynes sends it through the uprights. So just a wild game down in there in Candlestick. Giants keep rolling and reminiscent of that 07 team. They just found a way to get in the playoffs, and now they're rolling on to another Super Bowl to face once again Tom Brady and those New England Patriots. One more fact, Giants are 5-0 now in NFC Championship games. What an unbelievable stat. Now, in the future, if they go to another NFC Championship game, they're guaranteed to win. They just do not lose in those. So Lawrence Tynes send the Giants on their way once again in overtime, in the rain. Just phenomenal stuff from the G-Men. It was absolutely a great doubleheader. It was intense, and the entire way it was fun to watch. Even if you're not a fan of either of those 4 teams, it was just a great watch for all football fans around America and around the world. And I cannot wait for this Super Bowl. I'm really not sure who has the edge yet. I'll give you, we'll talk about the game, and I'll give you my picks later in the week, maybe next week. But for now, Giants over the 49ers and Patriots over the Ravens. In other news, Joe Paterno, legendary coach of the Penn State Nittany Lions, has passed away. He passed away yesterday morning. Great coach and a great person. He led that program for 40-something years, and it's sad to see him go. But it's also sad it had to end like the way it did with this scandal and Jerry Sandusky and everything that went on. He had 409 wins, most ever in college football. He had 2 national titles. Just a legend of that program and of that university for so many years. And it's just sad to see him go. So everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm Harry Hoffman. We'll have lots of more reaction later in this week, and we will start preparing for the Super Bowl. We're also talking NBA and college basketball a little bit later this week, so should be fun. Thanks for joining us. This is the Double H Show.